Good morning. Still a little bit rough, so we're still doing these inside. But there's no chance I wasn't going live this morning because first things first, let's have a little laugh at Liverpool. Losing to Bournemouth as reigning champions, they've now got a worse record than David Moyes' Manchester United. Someone please go find the David Moyes Football Genius banner because I think it needs to be dusted out. Now, we're sitting here watching these, looking like one of the hands down worst title defences ever. On top of, I think it's the most amount any champion has ever spent, what they spent in the summer. But the mad part is today, if United do not lose, we go above them. And if I'd have said at the start of the season, after Liverpool have just spent British record fees on all the players that they bought, listen, you know what? Manchester United are going to finish above the champions next year. You'd have all been, Jesus Christ, he's been on the run so early today. What is going on? And none of us would have said that. Now, United have been we've been better than we expected. And that's insane when you consider the sheer volume of points that we should have had that we've given up. So on one hand, we've been better. On another hand, we've been so disappointing. But the reality is, more than halfway through the season, and avoiding defeat today, which is not going to be easy, by the way, but it's possible, we go above the champions. A draw puts us level on points, better goal difference, I think. Let me just double check that. And I'm pretty sure, yeah, level on points with a 3 better goal difference. We are 5 points behind Villa if we win. And we're 6 behind City with a game in hand. Now, let's just play fantasy football for a minute. Let's say we get that game in hand, 3 points, right? Just for easy maths. If I'd have said to you, lads, we're going to be 3 points above Liverpool and 3 points off City, you'd have been like, fucking hell, man, are we in a title race? No, we're not. But I think there's some light at the end of the tunnel there, isn't there? For sure. You guys let me know what you're thinking about today in the comments. But yeah, we're absolutely going to laugh. Notch says, slot blaming midweek games because, you know, it stopped them winning the league last year. And he said 4 minutes added time was too much. Yeah, I saw that. I saw Van Dijk crying about the shove. I watched that goal back so many times. I still don't know what shove he's talking about. I mean, I watched some with pants on. I watched some with pants off. I watched some through fingers. I watched some trying to watch through the tears and laughter. 10 Big Hike says, good morning from Canada. 4 a.m. here. He's getting up early to have a laugh, isn't he? If Villa win the league, does Sancho get a medal? Yeah, I guess you do now, yeah. Let's just win 1-0 and be happy. Mate, I don't know if I'd say I'd be happy with a draw, but I think a draw's a good result. I don't know if I'd be happy with that. And let's go back to what I was talking about anyway. So, let's enjoy Liverpool's collapse, even if it's brief, because it might not last. And let's see if United can put this United and Arsenal game in some proper context. We're probably going to lose. But I think that we all go into this game with at least a smidge of belief, if not confidence. Belief that we're going to try something, that we're going to try and stick it on them, that we're going to be brave when we need to be brave. And that's all I want to see from us today. If we go for it and lose, then we went for it and lost. I just don't want to see a cowardly performance. Notch says, Sancho winning a Premier League medal is by far the best scenario. It is, and as much as I think he's a knob, I'd take it. Gaz says, morning peeps, no one wants to win this league this season. 2-0 United today. Like I said yesterday, what was I talking about yesterday? No one wants to win the league. Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's a crap league. It really is a crap league. Chill says, being above Liverpool in January trophy. Yay. Hey, small wins, man. Small wins. Yeah, like, we're probably not going to win this game today, but we're going to go in and hopefully have a go, because that's what we've not done in recent times. We've not gone and had a go. So go and have a go and see where it leads and see what happens to us, because you never know. I don't think it's hype. And that was what I was talking about. You can write off the Derby win last week as a free hit, as, yeah, new manager bounce, even though it don't exist. Yeah, he got lucky, it was a fluke, you'll never be able to repeat it. The truth is, if you beat City and you beat Arsenal, and regardless, it'd be nice for a clean sheet, wouldn't it? Because, like, again, back-to-back wins, back-to-back clean sheets, that means something, especially when you've played the top two teams in the league. If he was able to pull that off today, something like that, the noise for Michael Carrick getting the full thing is ridiculous. Jim Mack says, is Virgil still the GOAT? Asking for a friend. You would have to consider him anywhere near the GOAT. I don't even think he's not in the top 5, I don't think, but it is what it is. Ten Big Hike says, as long as we give a good fight. And I think, again, I have no data for this. Only what I saw last weekend. I think there'll be fight today. And I think if there's a chance of winning it, we will take that chance, or at least push for that chance. But taking it's the easy one. Set plays will be key today, says Ads. It will be. Both boxes. Adam says, the positivity since Amorim's dismissal has been incredible for my attitude, and I liked Amorim. Notch says, I know we've been set up defensive for over a year, but I'd understand it if today, as long as it's organised. Yeah, look, there is a difference in my mind between being defensive and being negative. You can be offensive and have the ball and be negative. I mean, look at the Bournemouth game. We were dominating the game and we decided to be negative rather than be positive. And then the Newcastle game at home, it was one of the worst games of football I've ever seen, even though we won. Mayo says, 2-1 United win, I just feel it. I'd love to feel it. Dan says, Sesko starting today? I don't know. I mean, it's funny, obviously I do a match preview. The amount of people absolutely raging, your team selection is wrong. How is it wrong? It's an opinion, for starters. And you're saying it's wrong before he's put the team out. Isn't that mental? And even if my team is wrong, I wasn't saying this will be the team. I'm saying here's a team that I would pick and here's why, the qualities that players have to go and win the game. It's about storytelling. You know, I'm trying, like, ultimately what I do is entertainment, isn't it? It isn't a fucking TED Talk. It's for people that are interested in the game. Hopefully they get an understanding from someone else's point of view about why this or this doesn't happen. That's punditry. That's analysis. That's entertainment. That's football entertainment. That's what I do. You know, we discuss and dissect the game. That's what we do. It isn't a prediction in terms of this is what the team will be. Go put money on it. It's here's the situation. Here's what I think would work. Here's the players I think are in form. Here's why I would choose this player over that player. You know, there's loads of ways to carve it up. Like Jim Max says, I'd settle for a Desmond today. Listen, any way United don't lose this game, and I'm actually all right with that. Like I said, I can't say happy with a draw, but I'll take it. A draw is a good result, even if I'm not happy with it. DYKTN says, when you have an extra defender on the pitch in a back five, you always lose that creativity in midfield. 5 in the back is good for a newly promoted side. Defend and go on the counter. I think you can play a back five. We did it at the Etihad under Ollie and were successful with it. But what you have to do, if you're going to play off the back foot, you have to have threats. Like, this isn't to pick on Joshua Zirkzee, it's just so everyone understands the analogy or the angle. If you play in your own half and you get everybody behind the ball, and you will win the ball, there will be 100 times where the opposition lose the ball over the course of that game. When you win the ball, what do you want to do with the ball? You want to put the ball forward. You want to go and attack the space, because if you're playing against, whether it's City or Arsenal or Liverpool or even Aston Villa, most top teams now will dominate and live in the opposition half. I mean, for those who watched Paddock play yesterday, we managed to get a winner in injury time last night, another 16-year-old scoring a winner. But what we did, or what we were vulnerable to, is always, we conceded 2 goals yesterday from goal kicks. There might have been one pass in the first. I don't even think there was a pass in the second. Because those things are dangerous. When you defend up to the halfway line and you have 50 yards behind you, that is space to attack. So if you're playing a defensive shape and you're living in your half and you're congesting the middle and you're stopping crosses into the box, you will win the ball. You'll win the ball 80 to 100 times in 90 minutes. When you do, what do you need to do? You need to play it forward, right? So you can find defenders, you can find midfielders, people that will play it forward. Who are you playing it forward to? Sometimes the target man is the right guy, especially if you're going to play up to him and then come back and attack through other people. But what you really need is people that can exploit that space with pace. You want to put the ball in front of those players. And it's not long ball, go and fight it like 1980s English football. It's put the ball into space, into the path of runners. Can you get those runners onto the ball? That's how you win in those circumstances. That's why, away at the Etihad under Ole, Dan James, Marcus Rashford were your biggest assets, because they're fucking speed merchants and they will get on the end of stuff. Stephen Richards says, if we beat them 4-0, is it pants off Monday or not? I might even get drunk tonight if we beat them 4-0. I might. Don says, Dorgu is getting better every game. Thomas Dickinson says, City were relegated as champions back in the 1930s. Mate, you know the rules. We only talk about Premier League era onwards unless it revolves around 1991 or anything pro-United. Realistically, I think football post the Second World War is what we can really relate to. 100 years ago, I don't fucking know what was going on. And there was all sorts of stuff going on. John says, payback for the opening game defeat. Corner FC are defo beatable. We were robbed in that game. Yeah. D. Willis says, we need a Carrick masterclass. Dan says, Dorgu assist. Do I think heaven is above Euro in the pecking order now, especially as we only play 2 centre-backs now? That's an interesting question, actually. I'm not sure. Possible. Dorgu's going for a bit of learning, isn't he? Like, there's clearly a player there, but there's also clearly some rough edges that need rounding out. And again, I don't think it's not for nothing. I think the fact that we played our oldest possible backline against City, you might see very similar to that today. I saw something last night that Mazraoui's going to be in the squad. I mean, let me pull up some of the quotes from the presser and stuff like that. Oh, by the way, I saw this this morning. It's from TalkSport. I need to drill into this, because if this is anywhere close to being reality, it's pure pants off time. Manchester United are likely to sign 2 of Anderson, Baleba and Wharton this summer. It will take around 200 million. That's from TalkSport. I'm not putting that... I haven't put that as a headline because that seems insane to me. If there's any validity to that whatsoever, I will be drilling into it. That is a statement of intent and a half, if that's what we do. And I am so fucking here for it. I don't know what's going on, but as I'm on Twitter, trending in the United Kingdom, number 1 is North Korea, number 2 is 1930s Germany. What the fuck is going on? Anyway, Carrick asked about Dorgu, long-term future as a winger or a fullback. He said, I think he can do both, to be honest. He was immense last week. His work rate and the way he plays the position, but the threat, the constant threat, the goal is the obvious one, but his general play was something really pleased about. So I wouldn't want to pin him down, because I think he can do both, certainly attacking-wise, and the threat. He was pretty impressive last week. I think that tells you what you'll probably end up seeing is, when we do face against a team that's going to be in a low block, playing him instead of Luke Shaw at left-back gives you a bit more of an offensive threat. And I think that's the right thing to do. And when you come up against a team that might put you on the back foot, playing Dorgu left wing means on occasion he can come and double up with his fullback in a defensive sense and still give you that sort of security without really changing your shape. It's interesting that he says he spoke to Ollie quite a bit. He says, we're close, we've been through a lot together. He's been fully supportive, as you'd expect. He's some man. I respect him an awful lot. He wishes all the best, and he was happy that we got the right result. What else was going on? Romano says United are exploring opportunities in midfield. There was a bit of a leak on the away kit yesterday. Is he not City here trying to sign Jeremy Jacquet as well? Honestly, rules just don't fucking matter anymore, do they? When it comes to financial fair play. What an absolute joke. That was it. So Mazraoui's back in the squad, supposedly, to face Arsenal today, was the feeling. That was reported by a few different places last night. So, in a squad or in the team, personally, I would be starting him over Dalot. I just think he's a far more intelligent player, and I'd absolutely be having him in. FPL Mikel with a super chat, thank you, mate, says, is it true that Rodby's being investigated for the 2 yellows against Bodo Glimt? Apparently lots of money from Madrid placed on that. If so, it's hilarious. I did see a social post about that. I didn't bother to investigate any further. Dan says, can only happen if Bruno goes, though, surely. Not necessarily, no. No, I think you could easily get those two and keep Bruno, because Bruno plays a different position if you play a midfield 3. I think if you got rid of Ugarte, Casemiro, you've just replaced 2 players. Don says Carrick has a positive impact and it will show. I mean, he's already beaten Arteta, hasn't he? So fingers crossed he can do it again. Do I think the lineup will leak early again? Yeah. And I'd love to get to the bottom of it. And do you know what? The odious little fucking pencil neck prick it is that keeps leaking it. And you all know who it is, but let's not fucking give his name any credence. I think the club should just fucking ban him. Like, what would Fergie do should be a fucking phrase, not in all aspects, but like there should be a phrase that you think, what would Fergie do? And I think he will say, I'm just doing my job. And Fergie would go, cool story, nerd. You fucking damaged the football club by doing your job, so you're fucking banned. Like, he banned people even if what they said was true. It doesn't matter. If you fucking go against what he wants, you get banned. And I would be like, yeah, cool. So you tell me who's leaking the squad, which he's not going to do, obviously, but you have to ask the question. Tell me who's leaking the squad. I can't do that. Cool, you're fucking banned until you can. Off your fucking pop. Guy works for the Sun, right? Ain't nobody crying over that. Ain't no one writing a petition to say fucking treat them better. Fuck that noise. Ban him and put a marker down. What about Stiller for Ugarte replacement? Don't hate it. Notch says the same guy who tweeted that United are investigating the leaks like he's so innocent. Yeah, like literally the investigation could be text him and ask him who sent him the team. End of investigation, innit? It's like when someone eats all the chocolate in my house and I go, I'll conduct an investigation. If I can figure out who's done it, I'll let you know. Come on. Fergie would have had half of today's journos fucked off. Absolutely. People always say we know who leaks it, but I have no idea. Yeah, people always think it's a player. It could be a member of staff. Genuinely, I don't know. Like, do I fess this one up? The only time I've ever had a team, it'd come from Mourinho. Like, directly from Mourinho. Not to me, I haven't got Mourinho's phone number. But it'd come from someone that works with Mourinho, that he wanted it out in there. And it came to me and I put it out and I put it on. It was it an FA Cup game or a League Cup game? It was the one where Ashley Young played up front. We played away. Who the fuck was it? Ashley Young was in the 9 and I put it on Reddit and obviously you can imagine the amount of times people go, you're full of fucking shit, that's not the team. And it was like, yeah, this is the team. The world's going to have a meltdown if we beat Arsenal today, and I'm so fucking here for it. Wilson says, when is a GOAT not the GOAT? Manchester Kid says LeBlanc to come in. He was the spark that revamped PSG and he knows the United way. Stone cold assassin. I'd take a draw, no injuries now. Do you know what, mate? I probably would take a draw right now. What happened to De Ligt? So De Ligt's done his back in. Someone messaged me on Instagram actually saying they'd just seen him in London at a train station. He was walking like he shit his pants. It's not a good look, is it? And obviously it tracks with him having a bad back. But yeah, no one seems to know where he's at with it. Oh yeah, I mean, I obviously like doing what I do, but it's so much better when we're good than when we're bad. And I see people go, oh, fucking fan channels love it when United do bad because they get views. No, some do. Like, fucking overreactionary bells do. But, like, the fan channels that are actually for United fans and not for opposition fans to look at caricatures of United fans, they actually don't. Like, go and look at all my biggest views are when United have done well. I only do well when... The only other thing that does well for me, outside of United being good, and we don't have a lot of that in the fucking 10 years I've been covering this on YouTube, is transfers. That's the only other thing. Transfers do numbers. But why do transfers do numbers? The same reason that winning does numbers. It's positivity. FPL says, today's journalists, bar a few, are just about getting social media followers. I hate it. Michael says, do you think United will go for Cole Palmer in the summer? Probably not, because he's on about a 100-year contract and would cost a bastard fortune. Unless he throws his toys out of the pram and goes on strike, and that's not a good look, is it? Or Liverpool doing bad. Yeah, Liverpool doing bad's not bad. Keith says, I'd take a draw, but it needs to be the most shithouse draw in order to see the full meltdown from AFTV. Yeah, I want 3 Stonewall penalties overturned by VAR. I want United to score from an offside, handball, fucking just completely illegal goal where we had 13 players on the pitch and 2 balls. Like, I just want it to be completely fucking mental how we do it, and then just sit there and be like, all right. Well, we call it quits, don't we, for the fucking non-goal that we had at Burnley that you chalked off us. What headline would I write for the Rags if we win today? Something about action, man. No action. If we play anywhere close to how we did against City, we have a good chance today. No one expected that. I think that's the top and bottom of it, yeah. And what was the key to that performance against City? It was the athleticism. It was having the energy and the willingness to battle that we had in both Dorgu and Ahmad. And for me, that's what Mazraoui brings as well. Mazraoui's in a dozen duels a game, which is so fucking many compared to what most players are in 3 or 4. Dorgu, Ahmad and Mazraoui, 3 players that are just live for a graft and a fight. For me, that's the one. That is the one. Xbot says we have 4 right-wing forwards. We don't need any more. But for me, I would only bring Cole Palmer in if you lose Bruno, because, yeah, he ain't going to play on the right wing. He's probably better as a 10, but Bruno plays there, and you're not going to have him and Bruno. So, yeah, it would only be if you do that. Goober says, great comeback for Paddock yesterday. Like, it wasn't a great performance. We're not usually good on grass. I say usually. We weren't good yesterday on grass. First 20 minutes was poor, but after that we kind of got some rhythm. And yeah, we come away with 3 points. We can still promote this year, but, I don't moan about it in the pre-game because it's fuck all I can do about it. But and it's obviously not an excuse because we did win. But I had 20 players missing yesterday. It's so difficult at our level. Like, I can't attract players with money because we don't have any and we don't pay. The lads still have to pay a registration fee. It's so fucking difficult for me to recruit players. And I don't know if you all saw this yesterday. I put it on. I tweeted it and it was on my story. One of our lads has been linked with Hearts. There's also Blackburn, Preston, and I think Cardiff are supposedly looking at him as well. He was on loan at Preston for the last 2 weeks. I have no idea how that's gone. But yeah, it's good. And ultimately, the things that I want to do with the football club is I want to have the football club 6 or 7 leagues higher than where we are now, like Northern Prem. Existing Northern Prem where you can go on nice FA Cup runs, maybe get to the first round every few years, something like that. But I want to do it with our own homegrown players that have just joined at Paddock at 4 and 5 and 6 years of age. And I want to do what we're doing. You saw one of our ex-players score the winner against Palace in the FA Cup. Insane, in the biggest upset in FA Cup history. You know, that is an ex-Paddock player, factually. You know, that was a lad that played for me, and he's a great lad, and I'm fucking really pleased for him, and I hope they do the business against Brentford. Is it next Monday they play? It's going to be tough for them, but I hope they do it. And then I've got, you know, Kiefer being linked here with a move to the Scottish Prem, could go from the Cheshire League to the Champions League. How fucking insane is that? But that's what it's all about, and we get so much out of it by doing that, because that's all you want to do. You want to see if you can actually develop people and move them on, and we can. Have we tried the free agent lad on Twitter? Yeah, you get a lot of people who think they're so much fucking better than they are, and just chat shit. So it's hard work. If Bruno is sold, can we finally get our long-term target in Schneider? Do you know if we have a recall option with Harry Amas? I don't know, actually, no. Andy Harper says, not good on grass. I know that sounds like a mad thing to say. It does. But all of our home games are on a 4G pitch, and probably 50% of our, if not more, of our away games are on 4G. And grass does make it... Like, if we played on Premier League level grass, we'd be fine. But non-league, where they don't have a budget to maintain the pitch, it's basically Sunday league pitches with a stadium around it. Like, they're not fucking good pitches. So we take an extra touch. That means my passing gets slower. That means the dribbles get harder. It has an impact. I mean, did you not listen to Crystal Palace after Macclesfield beat them, saying, fucking hell, we couldn't play on a 4G pitch. It's about the bounce is different and stuff. Thoughts on Martinez in midfield for Casemiro? No. Why would you drop Casemiro? Bruno deserves a Premier League title. He genuinely does. Out of all the players that are Manchester United Premier League winners, and Bruno not being one, there's so many that should have one before him. Can Paddock beat San Marino? I think it would be a competitive game. I don't know if we'd beat them, but it wouldn't be a 7 or 8-0 in either way. There's a guy called Omar Chowdhury on... Well, he's not on Twitter anymore, actually, but who I had a conversation with on Twitter asking about... so he said that their model goes down to step 3. Step 3 is Northern Premier League. That's where their level goes down to. And they, by their admission, or their calculation, San Marino were about 8 leagues lower than step 3. We're at step 8, so we're 5 leagues lower. So it's a similar level, is where it is. Now, they'll have players that'll be championship players, but they'll have players that are worse than Paddock players because of just the averages of how it works. I think it would be competitive, which is insane, isn't it? Ahmed says, when I was a kid in Saudi Arabia, we usually played on sand pitches and we would regularly beat actual club academies like Ittihad and Al Ahly because of the difference of pitch quality. I can believe it, yeah, I can. Do you think that we will finish ahead of Liverpool and in top 4 in the league? Let's see how today goes. If we win today, yes. I think otherwise it'd be very, very close. Baleba looked mint yesterday, better as a 6 than Anderson. Such a fun player to watch. I don't know if I'd say better as a 6, but I think if you can sign 2 out of 3 of those, you've got a fucking serious base for your team. You've got a genuinely serious base. Nidge says, where have you been? I ain't fucking seen you comment for ages. Have I seen that Nathan De Cat at Anderlecht would be worth a scout report midfielder? No, I've not, but let's have a look at him. Akbar says, Monisty, how's the Manchester Marathon training going? Mine's barely going right now. Well, considering I'm not even going on fucking walks at the moment because my whole house is ill. I think Janine's about to get it. Blake's threw up yesterday. She's thrown up this morning. Yeah, we've got a fucking red X on the door, my mate. So it ain't going at the moment, unfortunately. Ruben says it's becoming increasingly risky for non-white fans to go to the World Cup this year. What? Is it? What are we talking about here? Are we on about Trump's banning of like loads and loads of different nations? Yeah, it's becoming fucking carnage, isn't it? Top 5 veg. Ooh, potatoes. They're a basic, but they do the job, right? I do like broccoli. Spinach. Peppers. Can't be a pepper, can you? Might be carrots, you know. Lettuce can fuck off. Sprouts, no. I don't mind a parsnip, you know, to be fair. Right, it says, why do you and others want Enrique so much? Do I want Enrique that bad? I think I've literally said, haven't I? Like, he's had really, really good teams. Notch says, I'll never forget the madness over at QPR installing an artificial pitch in the 80s. People would call it now woke nonsense. Go on then. Let's get weird on a Sunday morning. I want to know everyone's favourite. Like, you can only have one veg ever. What you having? Nidge says, I'm fully on the Elliot Anderson train. I think he's a future captain of some big club. What's my go-to curry? It's a mild one to disappoint everyone. I don't really go for spicy curries. My missus does. She goes with patia, which is a pretty hot one. Mine is a makhani, probably, which has got nuts in it. Spuds, potatoes, carrot, kale, broccoli, chips. See, that's why potatoes is your number one, because you can have crisp, you can have chips, you can have mash, you can have roast, you can have boiled, like peas. Yeah, do you know what? Peas. I should have said peas. I do like a pea, I'll be honest. Broccoli is king. Crispy roast spuds. Parsnip, honey roast parsnips top, you know. Potatoes, you get vodka too. Yeah, good point. Well made. Mushrooms. Mushrooms aren't a veg, are they? I mean, I guess they are, but like, aren't they just like their own sort of completely different thing? What do I think about Wrexham's rise? I think it shows what can happen when you get a bit of, well, money and momentum behind you. Definitely interesting. Scuba Steve says, we'll be listening to the match in the cow shed with my 800 cows over here in New Zealand at 5 in the morning. After listening to the build-up from 4 a.m. when I head out the door, favourite veg is peas. 800 cows. That's mega. Wait. Can we be correct here? Are we talking 800 cows or are we talking 800 cattle? What's the score? And you know, because I know that people always talk about cows, but they're just the female ones, aren't they? And surely not everyone that we see is a female one. Carl says, Madras for my curry choice. Off the EPL, what about the work Como is doing? I did a video about Como. I think I did a video about Como. Because, yeah, they're doing it a little bit different. I mean, it is very... I mean, it's a bit woke. It is a bit new world. But, you know, they are trying to do it in a bit of a different way. You know, they are using influencers. They're using their location as a bit of a, you know... a bit of a tough, posh sort of location, like Como. But that's who they are. So, you know, you can never have an issue with people just being who they are. It's when people pretend to be something that they're not. Lake Como is a fucking posh destination. It's like Monaco. Like, Monaco couldn't try and be all hardcore, could you? Like, fuck off, lads. Like, you're literally at a fucking millionaire's playground. Be the millionaire's playground. Lean into it. That's who you are. Imagine the meltdown if we win. Yeah, I might just do like a 3-hour live. When are we doing something with Ash? Dunno. Is Carrick really auditioning? Does he have any chance of winning the job? I think so. I absolutely think so. I thought it was going to be a Liverpool victory at the end, but what a turnaround. Great finish to the game. Cherries kept pushing. Am I missing something, or are new movies shit? No, they're shit. There was a really good podcast I watched the other day with Ben Affleck and Matt Damon with Joe Rogan. And they were talking about all sorts of the dramas of the movie industry and how everything has to make a profit. There's not people taking risks on new movies anymore because of streaming platforms. And hopefully it's a dip that we're in, and it will become profitable again for people to make movies somehow. And they'll get the support that they need to be able to make them, because, I mean, there's like 2 good films a year. Whereas you go back, just pick... Right, someone in the comments, shout me a random year. Like, obviously 99 was an unbelievable year, so don't use 99. But even like, I don't know, what was like 1987 or something like that? Let's have a look at that. 1987 movies released. Right, 1987, you had The Running Man, The Princess Bride, Full Metal Jacket, Predator, Spaceballs, I don't know what Spaceballs is, The Lost Boys, Lethal Weapon, The Untouchables, Dirty Dancing, Harry and the Hendersons, Empire of the Sun, RoboCop, Fatal Attraction, Planes, Trains and Automobiles, Raising Arizona, Moonstruck, don't think I've seen that, The Last Emperor, Angel Heart, 3 Men and a Baby, Wings of Desire, Wall Street, like Hellraiser, With Nail and I, Good Morning Vietnam, like... Are you fucking kidding me? The Witches of Eastwick, Masters of the Universe, that was a film. Mannequin, that was shit. Overboard, that was shit. Beverly Hills Cop 2. Like, fucking hell, are you mad? Give me another year. What's with Redknapp trying to get the Iraola the United job? Someone shout me a year. 1996. Let's have a look at 1996. Fargo, Primal Fear, A Time to Kill, From Dusk Till Dawn, Fear, Trainspotting, Scream, The Rock, Romeo and Juliet, Independence Day, Mission Impossible, Jerry Maguire. Fucking hell, how much work did Tom Cruise do? That Thing You Do, I don't know what that is. The Birdcage, Sleepers, Matilda, Happy Gilmore. Fucking hell, was that 96? That's 30 years ago. The English Patient, Mars Attacks, The Substitute, Twister, Bound, Crash, Hunchback of Notre Dame. I think that was the Disney one. Hard 8, Space Jam, The Cable Guy. Cable Guy was class. 101 Dalmatians, First Wives Club, Pusher, Ransom, The Craft. That was a good film. Striptease, Big Nights, Swingers, Breaking the Waves, Don't Be a Menace to South Central while drinking your juice in the hood. Long Kiss Goodnight, Hamlet, One Fine Day, The People vs. Larry Flynn. Are you Escape from LA? Muppet Treasure Island. Are you fucking kidding me? Like, we don't get 2 movies on that level anymore. Absolutely mental, you know. Yeah, just 1994. Let's have a look. We'll do this last one. 1994. And the draw, give me one of the 2000s. Give me one of the 2000s. Because these are all obviously older ones. Give me one. 2005. All right, let's have a look at that one. "2005. Kingdom of Heaven, epic. Batman Begins, not a bad one. Pride and Prejudice, my wife's favourite film. Harry Potter and the Fire of Goblet of Fire, my wife's other favourite film. Chronicles of Narnia, I've never seen that. V for Vendetta, Brokeback Mountain, 40-Year-Old Virgin, Madagascar, my God. Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, I think that's the Johnny Depp one. Constantine, banger. Star Wars Episode 3, The Island, Mr. and Mrs. Smith, War of the Worlds, The Descent, Sin City, Lie With Me, Wedding Crashers, Kiss Kiss Bang Bang, The Longest Yard, History of Violence, Serenity, Match Point, Coach Carter, King Kong, Lord of War is not bad even though Nicolas Cage is in it, Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, Munich, Fantastic Four, Jarhead, New World, Corpse Bride, Brick, Waiting, that's a fucking sleeper, by the way, Waiting, that's a really good one. The Constant Gardener, Walk the Line, is that the Johnny Cash thing? Red Eye, Four Brothers is a fucking good one. Cinderella Man, The Jacket, Hostel, Green Street, Doom. Fucking, are you kidding me? Like, we're getting absolutely fucking banged over a desk here, aren't we, with the shit that they give us. The Odyssey is going to be amazing. It should be, shouldn't it? Matt Damon and fucking hell, what's he called? Can't remember his bastard name now. Christopher. Can't remember his bloody name. JD says, I'm telling you that Netflix has killed movies. It has. It has. Have I paid attention to the Scottish League at all? Not so much, to be honest. I obviously see that Hearts are in line to win the league. Have I got any plans to come north of the border? Not currently, but I would love to. I did a winter skills course up in Cairngorm last year and I loved it. Am I still planning to go to the World Cup amid this Greenland debacle? I mean, yeah, we've got some shows planned out there. I got to go. It's my job. So, yeah, I'm not particularly happy about all the stuff that's going on, but it's one of those. Do I check the viewer age stats on my channels? I wonder what's the comparison. Paddock and my channel are very similar. It's like 1% under 18. The biggest age category, I think, is... Let me just double check. I want to say it's 24 to 35, but it might be 35 to 45. Let me just double check. I don't think you'd be surprised at the numbers on my channel, in all honesty. It is... So, under 18s, I apologise, it isn't 1%, it is 0.1%. 18 to 24 is 5.1%. I was kind of right. So, 67% of my audience is 25 to 44. So 2/3 of my audience is in that category. I got 15% in the 45 to 54, 8% in the 55 to 64, and 6% in the 65 and older. It is 96% male, to absolutely nobody's surprise. It's 50% in the UK, 10% in America, 5% Ireland, 4% Australia, 3.8% South Africa. What surprised me in terms of the stats, 60% is on mobile. No shocks there. 15% on a computer. 25% of people watch me on TV. Drop me a comment if you're watching on TV. Although, can you comment if you're watching on TV? Or do you dual screen and watch me on TV and comment on your phone? That might be a way to do it. Super chat from Tommy says, disgusting human, but movies haven't looked the same since Harvey Weinstein got locked up. Same actors in everything now. I'm not going to comment with, because even if I make a joke, I'll get in trouble. Hands up for the big category. I identify as a broomstick. You're covered, mate. 0.1% is, what does it actually say? User specified. Whatever that means. Watching on TV, linked on my phone. Watching you on the Nintendo. That's covered as well. I think it was 8% on devices. Watching on Xbox, got on a phone. Watching on TV, you can link YouTube to the mobile app. Don't have a TV at work, sadly, that's where I watch most. Watch TV, chat on the phone. Do I think Wrexham could make the Premier League next season? Yeah, possibly. Yeah, possibly, yeah. Been watching since I was like 13 and I'm 24. I get a lot of that, to be honest. The amount of people that say they've been watching 10 years. Shout out to the fucking 10 years deep crew. Because there's a fair few of yous. Shout out from Australia on your TV. What percentage from Dresden? Don't get to drill it down too much, that. What camera are we on? This is an Elgato face cam. It's literally just like a fancy webcam. In the office, I use a Blackmagic. In the bar, I use Sony's. What's my favourite movie ever? Gladiator, probably. I think. Watching on my phone so I can take it around the house with me. I watch a lot on my phone. I also watch quite a bit on... I'd probably say I watch most on my phone, but I do watch on my TV a bit. Thoughts on whether we can leave Cunha out for a start again, wise or not? I think from a team point of view, yeah. I think from a squad management, harmony point of view, don't know. Depends on how he's been since, getting off. Do I have a second job outside of content and podcasts? Not really, no. I mean, I do a load of stuff, like the football team takes up a lot of time. But no, content is my full-time job. What's my favourite trainers? Gazelles, probably. I wear a lot of... I've got a new set down there of the Training Special Adidas, but probably Gazelles, boringly. Been here since the Moyes era. Can't believe we've not celebrated a league title together. Do you know what I mean? It'll come one day, lads. I might have more grey hair. I might be older. There might be more wrinkles on my face, but we will get it one day. Anyways, I'm going to wrap it up. Thank you guys for tuning in. Be live, possibly. Hey, if it's an absolute dicking, I'll be live all night. If it's a narrow victory, I'll do my usuals. If it's a draw, I'll do my usuals. If we lose, I'll do my usuals. But if it's an absolute fucking drilling, we're just going to stay live until the last person leaves. Turn the lights off. Anyway, take it easy. Have a good day and that. I'll see you in a bit.
Hey, thank you for watching the video. If you are new around these parts, then don't forget to subscribe. My channel is proudly supported by my community on Patreon. If you'd like to get a little bit of extra content, a Discord group, meetups, five-a-side games, weekly podcasts, behind the scenes, and even an occasional bit of transfer news as and when I get it, then for the price of a pint, you can show your appreciation for the content that we make and get some goodies for doing so as well. Check the link in the description or click the button right here. You'll also find all of my socials here too if you want to follow me on any of those platforms.